This episode is brought to you by Snapple. Want to know another Snapple fact? The first hot air balloon passengers were a sheep, a duck, and a rooster. Ridiculous. Check out Snapple.com to find ridiculously flavored Snapple near you.
Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, this is a trend that I've seen quite often throughout my content creating career, but people being characters. You know, like, I've seen it work for good. You know, I see where people, they portray a good character, and then there's at times where I see people portray a bad character. And I'm going to talk on both because I feel like that both of them needs to be talked. You know, actually, and there's a third one. So I will have to say I more so fall in the category of this character. But you got your good characters. You got your bad characters. You got your characters right there in the middle. Like, they're not good, but they're not bad either. I would look at myself that way because my thing is this. I'm not a perfect content creator. That's something that I think like that just needs to be established. It needs to be said. I am not a perfect content creator. I'm not a good content creator. I will do good things, but at the same time, I will do bad things. Things I shouldn't be doing. Things that I'm not going to be proud of. Like, dang, I shouldn't have said that. Man, I shouldn't have did this. Man, I shouldn't have recorded that. I shouldn't have, you know, and at times it's like people get you to that point. And it's really messed up. It's really messed up, like, when a person, it gets you to a point where it's like you forget the real reason of being a content creator. Now, as I was growing up and getting into content creating, it was all about entertainment. How can you entertain an audience? Now, I know a lot of people think drama is a good way of entertaining an audience, but at the same time, you got to think about it at what cost. You know, it shouldn't cost me my content creating career. It shouldn't cost somebody else's content creating career. It shouldn't cause fans picking and choosing sides. Like, when I do content, I overall want people to be entertained. You know, I look at my videos, I look at my streams, I look at my podcast episodes, I look at my music, I look at everything as a source of entertainment. You know, and that's something that I do sit down and I think about. And just even thinking about it, like, right now and stuff, that if I'm watching my videos, am I going to be entertained by this? And that's why if you see me doing a reaction video, I talk on more than just the video that I'm watching. I feel that, you know, even talking on that, because I know people will leave that comment talking about, oh, you talk too much in your videos. And then, you know, getting to the main objective of this episode, it's like, you know, you got your good response, you got your bad response, and then you got your response that's somewhat in the middle. Me, I feel like with comments like that, yeah, that's when I leave. I'll respond a little bit unfriendly because, my thing is this. It's like, as a content creator, I am going to put out the right messages, but at the same time, I'm not going to let people walk all over me. You know, like, so, yeah, I might make a video saying, like, oh, you know, don't do drugs, kids, and stuff, and then somebody will be like, you don't tell me what to do, and it's all like, okay, well, fry your mind off of some fentanyl or crack or whatever you decide to do in things, but at the end of the day, it's going to cost you. It ain't going to cost nobody else. I'm like, you going to make whoever you're buying it from rich. They're not going to think twice of you. Meanwhile, you're going to be in an apartment, motel room, somewhere, high out of your mind, losing it. Sorry for getting a little dark, but at times, it's like, you know, you have to be blunt with people on the internet because I feel that at times, like, people don't have a clear understanding of the internet and stuff. So, yeah, at times it's like, you know, you're having to explain things. I'm like, man, you know, and it's crazy because it's like you would think that if I'm, you know, and I don't know, like I'm not trying to sound disrespectful, but this is what I mean by I'm not a perfect content creator. Like, I'm not going to always be positive, but it's like, how is it that you somehow, some way stumbled across my video yet don't know nothing about the topic? You know, or it's like you can't see where I'm coming from on talking on that topic and stuff, you know? So it's like, it's weird. Hold on for 1 second because Seth Rollins is on TV right now. I have not seen this man in months. I missed last week's episode of, well, I didn't miss it. I fell asleep, but I did miss his segment. I am not going to miss this segment, but just follow me on what I'm talking about. But anyways, I'm just going to pause for a second. All right, I'm back. I did not realize how long this promo between Damian Priest and Seth Rollins was going to be. If I had known that, I wouldn't have paused and I just continued on talking because to be honest, I done forgot what I was gonna, what I was originally talking about. I could just go back and just play, but I'm like, nah, man. I think that's what overall builds character. When the funny thing is like talking on like character and stuff, and really I guess furthermore explaining my character as a content creator. The thing is this, like, people, I guess, they expect me to be like somebody else. I'm just improvising at this point because, like I said, I don't remember what I was talking about. But anyways, no, people have tried to put me in a category as people that do reaction videos, people that do other forms of videos on YouTube. And that's something that, hold on, another thing going on WWE. Honestly, I need to stop doing this. I'm pausing, but I'm going to pause again. Hold on for 1 second. All right, I'm back. I don't think I'm gonna, pause this episode anymore. If I do, then I'm most likely just gonna end this episode, do a retake, and then but do a retake later on in the evening and stuff. Cause man, I can't pause no more. But anyways, like overall though, people have tried to put me in the category as other content creators, and the thing is this: people need to understand this about content creating, that you can't be like somebody else. You can't be compared to as somebody else. Only as a content creator, and just even as a person in general, just any and everything in this world, it has to be its own thing. Like a flower out in the middle of the woods, like a car, like a shirt, like a pair of shoes. It has to be unique. It has to be different. It can't be the same, because if it's the same, then it's not going to get looked at a higher, just, I guess, what's the word that I'm trying to find? It's not going to look, people ain't going to look highly of it, so they just going to look at it as like it's a copy and stuff. As getting into content creating and just, overall being a content creator, I knew from the start that I can't be like other people. I can't be like another person that's doing reaction videos, or just overall another person that's doing videos. I have to be unique. I have to be different. And some people don't realize that. So that's when they, I guess just have that same conversation where they want to put me in the category of somebody else. And I'm like, fam, you can look at them and you can look at me, and it's literally night and day. Two different things. All right. So that, I think that's just something that people need to overall understand about and not even about content creating, just all of life, but if we're going to just keep it just small, yes, with content creating and stuff. But it's like, it's one of those things where you can't really convince people of stuff like that. Like they only and it's just it's so weird with people. It's like they want to just, I guess, and it's like, I don't know why everybody has to, well, not everybody, but it's like a good majority of people. I'm really trying to pick and choose my words, because if I say something, then people gonna get mad. Next thing you know, I got people coming after me. I ain't even trying to have that, but I'm just gonna say there is a group of people in this world where you can have a conversation with them and you cannot be right. And that's the thing where I just don't like about, just with life. But I mean, even with content creating, it's like you have people out there with content creating where it's like they want to be right. And I'm like, that's one of those characters where it's like they're bad, but in a bad way. Like, I feel like there's character, like, and it's crazy how, like, there's so many branches to a character. Like, there's characters good in a good way, they're good in a bad way, they're bad in a good way, bad in a bad way, and then you got, like, the neutral ones where it's just, they're all like, I'm not having no title to myself. And that's overall with me. It's like, I'm not gonna have I don't want to be labeled as a good content creator, because I know I'm not. I know I've made videos that I've said things I'm not proud of and all that stuff, but at the same time, it's like, I don't want to be labeled as a bad content creator, because it's like, I don't just go out of my way to say things to upset people, and if there ever has been a time where people have been upset by my content, I'm like, that's one of those things where I feel that I don't put out content for a person to be upset over. So, and it's something I was even thinking about with, and I am going to talk on that. I don't know whether I'll talk on that on my music, my like rap hip hop channel, or if I'll talk on it on here. But there's the situation going on between, well, one of the rappers had passed away. What was it, yesterday, I believe. And then the other rapper, he came out with a diss track literally on the day that the man died. And it's one of those things where it's like, I look at that and I'm like, and I guess like putting that in content creating terms, I've never had to I just don't think that there should be a reason for me to get to a point where it's like, I'm so mad at, and I gotta like say something disrespectful or do something disrespectful. I'm like, that's not me. It's like, if I'm provoked, then yeah, but if I'm not, then I'm like, fam, that person ain't did nothing to me. So it's like, that's just something I feel like that's somebody that's like, they're just overall bad in a bad way, where it's like, you're having these arguments and it's like you're having them for no reason. It's not like you're gaining anything from it. It's not like you're benefiting from it. None of that. So it's like, I really hope that people are following me with this episode, because if not, then it's like, yeah, then it's just, you're missing the whole point, but it's like, people probably put me in that category where it's like, I want to be right. I'm like, look, I could be wrong. I ain't going to the thing is this, I'm not going to have a conversation with people and just make it seem like that you got to follow my conversation the way that I want you to follow it. I want you to follow it in the mind that you're following it. If you want to think that I'm wrong, then you can think that I'm wrong. If you want to think that I'm right, you very well can think that. I am not going to judge on regardless on however you think and stuff. I guess if you're just being a yes man, or you just being a flat out hater, like if you're looking at me and I guess like, you can look at my argument and come up with something different, whether it's good, whether it's bad, regardless of the situation. It's like, but I feel that, though, that people need to understand that people are going to have their way of thinking. And I feel like with me, I have my way of thinking where I'm all like, there's a time to be good and then there's a time to be bad. Now, all content creators might not feel that way because, again, talking with this character stuff, they want to just portray as a good person all the time. And I'm like, and the thing is this, what's crazy, I feel like with content creators like that portrays themselves as a good person all the time, be the main ones with skeletons in their closet. They're not all good like how they portray. Like, fam, there's so many different content creators that I've seen throughout the year where it's like, you see them and you're like, there's no way possible they'll ever get caught up in drama. Like, there's no way possible they're ever going to be a part of the cancel culture. Like, these guys, no, they're perfect. They're, Mr. or Mrs. Perfect, And then all of a sudden you hear that they got caught up in some scandal. Then it's like, I gotta look at you differently. And I have to say, like, throughout the years with me being a content creator, it's like, yeah, that's how I be looking at some people, where it's like, they make it seem like they're a good person, then it's like they turn around, they just be doing some like, not even bad, just some downright evil stuff. And I'm like, bruh, what? Like, and the crazy thing is like, it's like that with like people that are like bad creators, but they're like, like they're just overall bad. Like, they're not bad in a good way, they're just overall bad in a bad way and stuff. But I feel like I should like title this episode like good creators / content creators and stuff. I'm gonna think of a title when I'm doing this or finished with this episode and things. But yeah, that's like, and then I feel like people will probably be all like, well, how would you explain a character that's or content creator, whichever you want to it's like one and the same. I feel like a lot of people, when it comes to content creating, like there's a good percentage that content creators excuse me, do have some sort of character to them and stuff. But I feel like with me, and it's like, that's why, like, I guess when I like look at myself and I explain myself as a content creator, it's like I said, I'm like, I'm more so in the neutral, like I'm being me. Like, and yeah, I'm like, there's at times I'm gonna have a bad side, and there's gonna be at times where I have a good side and stuff. I feel like I didn't said that a few times throughout this episode. I sound like a broken record, but no, talking on like somebody that's bad in a good way and things, but and it's like bad in a good way where it's like you're saying things where I guess like it would be taken as an attack, but at the same time, it's like, I know that you don't really feel that way. Like there's content creators where it's all like they'll have like a bad persona and stuff, but they're not really a bad person. It's like they be the ones where it's like it's kind of like with wrestling. Wrestling, I would have to say, is the best example for that type of stuff. Like because I'm like I was really trying to figure out, and it's funny how I'm watching wrestling right now, and I'm like, fam, people, it's gonna sound so weird. Watch wrestling because you have wrestlers where they portray themselves as a good person, but they be doing some crazy stuff behind the scenes, like and it's like, I'm trying to think of some wrestlers where it's like Hulk Hogan, for an example. I mean, he did play as a bad wrestler at one point in time, but yeah, I remember there's a lot of wrestlers and stuff where it's like they done portrayed themselves as a good person on TV, but then you hear some stuff like behind the scenes, and then it's like, you're not this good character that you portrayed as. Like, nah, what you got going on and stuff like this ain't right. Like, what am I looking at? But Hulk Hogan, I would have to say, prime example where it's like, and yeah, overall he might be one of those good people where they just made some mistakes. I feel like that is normal. You got some good people out there where it's like they'll make a mistake or two and stuff, and it's one of those things where it's like, bruh, you gotta be careful with what you say and with what you doing things, because you really don't know at the end of the day. Like, that could be it. That could be like your whole career gone like that. And he got super, super close. I mean, this was probably the closest I have seen anybody came close to losing a career. But anyways, Hulk Hogan got caught up saying some racist stuff. Let me just make sure of it that I'm reading it correctly and things, because I don't want to put out no false information out there and things. But anyways, Hulk Hogan, Wikipedia, let's see, personal life, go down, testament note, legal issues, maybe, past, no, that's not it. Beliefs, health, nope, that ain't it. How come they don't have where he endorsements, professional wrestling career, future, scandal, and departure? So anyways, so there's like in July 2015, National Enquirer writer publicized an anti-black rant made by Hogan on a leaked sex tape record in 2000. Dang. I didn't realize it was a rant. I just thought he was just saying the N-word. Dang, he went on a full-blown anti-black. That is crazy. Okay, so there was like, in the recording, he is heard expressing disgust with the notion of his daughter dating a black man, referenced by repeated use of the racial slur, the N-word. Hogan also admitted to being a racist to a point. Wow. That is, and yeah, he's probably one of those guys where it's all like, he don't want his daughter dating a black guy, but it's all like being friends with black people and all that stuff. And it's like, it's just crazy to think that there's people that think along those lines where it's like, fam, how does that overall affect you? How does that affect you if your daughter is dating a black person? If we can just really sit down and talk on that, because I'm like, I hear of that conversation way too often, and it's like, and I've sadly have been a part of that conversation, and it's one of those things where it's like, what do you or whoever, what do they overall have against a particular race that you don't want to see, your people or whatever with? Like, how does that overall affect you at the end of the day? How is that going to taint your life or your history? Because people, if we could just sit down and just talk on racism real quick, I feel like, yeah, this episode, I feel like it's one of those episodes where I'm like, nah, bro, I need to talk, and I need to talk right now. All right, so, but anyways, but it's like, it really trips me out when a person can hate a race. They have no history, no nothing. They're just born into a racist family, and they're all like, oh, well, I gotta keep the family, history going and stuff. Gotta hate black people. And it's like, what has black people done to you? But even just talking on any race where it's like, at one point in time, you had Asian people being attacked. Then it's like, yeah, you have black people. I mean, black people have been getting attacked for centuries and stuff. But I'm saying it's like it's just that racism where it's all like, you can see a Middle Eastern person and you think they are full-blown terrorists. Like, no, if I'm really going to be having a conversation with you guys, like, I really want to, I'm going to really talk my mind. Like, no, I really got some things to say, because I'm saying it's like when you sit down and you think of stuff like that, it's like, fam, at what point in time did your brain say, like, I'm going to stop working? I'm not going to function right. I'm not going to, because the thing is this, what people don't understand about racism, that it's like, yeah, racism, it is its own conversation. Excuse me, but yeah, racism is its own conversation, but at the same time, it's like racism, hating somebody for their race ain't no, in a way it's different, but at the same time it ain't no different than it like that dumb conversation of people hating somebody because of the phone that they use. They're all like, oh, if you have an Android, like, nah, you broke, you this, you that. But there's yet expensive, like, fam, I have an expensive Android phone sitting in my room right now, an $1,800 phone, bruh. Like, this phone ain't cheap. As a matter of fact, it's more expensive than iPhones. Yes, the equipment ain't all that good, but I'm like, yeah, bruh, at one point in time, bro, I thought I had the hottest phone in the world. I'm like, I don't care what anybody says, talking about, oh, you ain't got no iPhone. No, I got me a phone that folds. I literally got a phone that folds up like a book. You cannot tell me that I do not have the hottest phone in the world right now. I have the hottest phone in the world. But you got people out there that think along those lines. They're like, they don't care how expensive the phone is. They're all like, no, they still consider you broke. Even though I paid for this phone, I'm still paying on this phone because I think everybody knows of that whole situation. Long story short, the phone did eventually ended up breaking on me because Samsung doesn't know how to make fold phones, and I think that's just something, maybe it is with folding phones, just on how they're built. I'm like, them phones need to be built differently, but anyways, but yeah, it's like from stuff like that to, you know, oh, there's a brand that you support, like they're all like, oh, I don't date a guy that wears Jordans, and I'm thinking to myself, like, how does this man's footwear something that like this, because people, they need to, it's like, I thought something was going on with my TV. I'm like, I know, because it just, I seen a purple screen and I'm like, bro, what is happening right now? But anyways, but no, it's like, if it's something like that where it's like, you know, a person's shoes, I'm like, this defines me as like my character. I am a person. My thing is this. If I can explain my character right now, all right, a little bit of a foul mouth. Like, I don't be like cursing and cussing in every, you know, sentence and stuff. But I can say some things where it's like, I'm most likely to have somebody crying. I'm most likely gonna, you know, say something that's going to be offensive. I learned that at a young age. I'm like, I'm somebody that stands up for myself, but I have a little bit, like, you know, I'm quiet, but I have a little bit of a wild side to me, you know. But no, I can even think where it's like, I remember as a kid, and it's funny because I'm cool with this guy now. But anyways, no, I just remember there was a time when I moved and I went to this new school. And the kid, we were just like kind of going around telling each other our names and stuff. And so he goes, I think he was trying to play that whole bullying game with me. But I've said this before. I don't play that bullying stuff. Like, you're not going to bully me. That's one thing for sure. You know, so it's like, you may think that you're bullying me. But I'm like, in this day and age, you're bullying. If you're an adult bullying an adult, and it's like, no, bro, you just got, you know, some sort of psychological issue going on in your brain where you need medication. And most likely you need to be strapped up to a bed and not see the light of day for the rest of your life. But anyways, but no, in school, the guy, he goes and he was all like, oh, your last name is Moss. He was like, that girl's on trees and stuff. Like, he's making fun of my last name. And I'm sitting here thinking about it, and I'm like, fam, your last name ain't no better either. So I'm like, I started talking on his name too. And bro, when I tell you that this kid, he broke down, bruh. The crazy thing about it is, like, when you use your words to cause somebody to cry, but it's like in a way where you're just defending yourself, bruh, that's some next level stuff, man. That is some serious next level stuff. No, this kid, he was crying, bro. And he's all in the classroom crying, like at some point in time, I think the teacher told him that he had to go outside and stuff. And I'm like, I know I'm not going to get in trouble. I'm like, yeah, call my mom and say that, oh, I defended myself against the bully. I'm probably going to give me a Happy Meal and stuff. I was 10 years old. So I'm like, you really think my parents are going to be mad at me that I caused the kid to cry? That's something that I've told my parents, and I'm like, they ain't got no, they like, literally, it's my dad's last name. So it's like, you really think he going to be mad at me for defending the legacy, the last name, literally the name that is a part of my content creating name. You really think he's gonna be the one that gave me that name? All right, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have Moss as my last name. So you really think? And then my mom, it's like, yeah, she's somebody where it's like like both my parents overall taught me to stand up for myself. But yeah, it's like my mom, it's like she was teaching me too. And it's like, you really think they're gonna be mad because I stood up for myself? That, come on now, that don't make not one bit of sense. All right, but anyways, but yeah, it's like I would say that that's who I overall am. I'm a person that, I'm a defender when there needs to be a defense and stuff. But yeah, it's like it's just something where when people, I guess, like, and I feel like at the time being, it's like he probably looked at me as a bad character, but it's like, most people, they look at that situation, and I think that's something that a lot of people need to understand about characters, and then just, overall, like, the moments that them characters have. If an audience is watching this whole situation go down, and it ain't my audience, it isn't your audience, just overall an audience, if they're watching this whole situation go down, and they see that you're attacking a side for whatever reason you got made up in your mind, who do you think they're going to label as the good character and the bad character? And then how are they overall acting? Are they a good character with bad traits, or are they a, bad character? Or yeah, good character with bad traits, good character with good traits, bad character with bad traits, bad character with good traits. Which one are you? Which role? Because I feel like when you're a good character with bad traits, you're going into the negatives. And when you're a bad character with, then, the thing is this, you could be overall a good. I feel like, yeah, there's definitely some good people out there where it's like they just got nothing but good things going on. What's that one dude that be interviewing people, and he be knowing stuff about them without them even knowing and things? Like, he'll say some things, and it's like, fam, how did you even know that? It's like Nardwar or something like that. But no, yeah, he comes off as one of those guys where it's like, he's a good person, and yeah, and he overall, he puts out like a good message. He does good things and stuff. I haven't really seen him do no bad stuff behind the scene, not that I know of. Another person, Bill Nye. I feel like Bill Nye is one of those guys where it's all like, nah, man, if he throughout my whole life, I'm saying ever since I've known of this guy, he ain't never, I ain't never seen that negative for this, from this man. All right. So yeah, he's another one of those guys where I'm all like, nah, good characters with, good traits and things. I have to say a good character with bad traits. Yeah. Somebody like Hulk Hogan. I'm trying to think of some other wrestlers, out there, just even other people and stuff. I can't even think of nobody. Dang. Who can I like? I feel like maybe TMZ, maybe they might be talking about, all right, no, P. Diddy. Okay, I had to say that's probably another person where people probably label them as a good person, but then you've seen all the stuff that went down with him, then it's like, nah, I don't know about you and stuff. So yeah, then it's like, then yeah, I ain't even gonna try to sit down and think of, but it's like, yeah, then you got your bad characters, and then, you got your neutrals where it's all like, I'm not good or bad, it's all like, but at the same time, I feel like with me, it's like, I'm not good or bad, but also I wouldn't say I'd be doing some bad stuff like, saying going on no racist rant or beating women in the hallways and stuff. But, yeah, it's like, I feel like, if I need to, say some crazy stuff or do some crazy stuff, if it's defending myself, then yes, I'm like, I will say and do some crazy stuff. I really don't care what anybody, how they feel about it at the end of the day and things. But yeah, it's like, it's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, that's just how I'm overall feeling and stuff. So, but anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, viewing this on a podcast streaming service. Thank you guys, and peace.